So you want to talk about the movie? You want to go to the movie?
You want to talk about movies?
You want to talk about the movie?
You want to be movies? You want to do movie stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, fuck it. Let's get into it. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the Scream franchise and more specifically Scream 5.
Mm-hmm.
The new guy.
Yeah, well, it's
Uh,
not too new. I mean, it came out in January and it finally made its way on Peacock.
yeah. Well,
No, Paramount Plus.
yes, Paramount Plus. But so that's where we're at. We're going to be talking about that guy and see what Jerry thinks because we know he's that guy.
I am that guy. I know what I like, and I know I don't like that nutsack. Uh,
Uh, yeah, so let's hop into it. We decided we were going to do this, and now we're doing it.
yeah,
So,
yeah. All right, let's start it out hot and heavy. Okay, show stealer, Jacob. What was
um,
your show stealer?
let me see. Let me see. Let me refer to my book report that I'm
Notes.
sure Jerry did, um, because he doesn't just wing it ever all the time. Let's see. Let's see. What do I got? What do I got?
Yeah, especially
Star.
a show that I got told on. Like I thought we were gonna do it. We got content for days.
Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have more content.
Yeah, true, true. This
Uh,
will go up before the dad's one though.
so the show stealer for me was Tara in the hospital,
Okay.
the younger sister's hospital scene.
Hmm.
Not when Ghostface is after her, but when it's a very small scene where she has very few lines,
Hmm.
but she's basically after her older sister tells her that she's Billy Loomis's daughter and this is why it's happening
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. The Tara basically goes, "Fuck you, get out."
Hmm.
And they have a little back and forth and her acting was really really good.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. I was like, "Damn, she's got some chops." Like you don't really see it anywhere else in the movie too much, but that little scene it broke out. It was like her
Hmm.
close up moment kind of thing. So yeah, that one was a big one for me, and that was probably my show stealer was that scene, I guess.
Cool. Cool. My show stealer is actually just the overall violence in the movie. I thought that a lot of the stabs that they did were very gruesome. I think spoilers if y'all haven't seen this fucking movie. Spoilers. All right. Get Paramount or don't listen. No. uh, the one where the
Look, man, we don't need to tell one moldy potato that he doesn't need to listen, okay?
hey, we get there's more listeners out there. People want to know what we're thinking.
Mm.
Um, but the in the parking lot, the douchey like I called him the greasy man because like they gave him long hair and kind of a scruffy beard, and Gen Z that's greasy.
Yeah.
But the way he stabs him real quick through the neck and just lets
Yeah,
him
that
bleed
shit was
out.
hilarious,
Yeah.
dude.
I
That's
was like,
funny.
oh, that's pretty cool. It's not like, like stab, 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 stab. But just this one quick,
Yeah,
and
I thought it was funny how nonchalant it was.
yeah.
It was just like it was like bumping into somebody in a parking lot, like, "Oh, excuse me." It was just like a little, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Like, just
I think also in that scene, I will also like thumbs up is they paid homage to the original Scream by playing Man with a Red Right Hand.
hmm
I like that. The character Tara is our Drew Barrymore basically in the beginning.
Yep.
Um, but her attack is pretty gruesome. Like it kicks her leg and breaks it, and that's crazy. But yeah, I'll just go with violence. I mean, when they stab the girl from Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
The sheriff.
Yeah.
uh, That's pretty gruesome. In the day, though, it kind of looked
Well, that's the whole
weird.
thing that I liked about that scene was it was the middle of the goddamn
It was
day
the
in
middle
a
of the day.
residential neighborhood, and they were just like, "Yeah, fuck it, Ghostface doesn't give a shit.
Uh,
Like he's gonna go out." Like, how many slashers do you see walking down the street in the middle of the day in a neighborhood killing people?
uh,
Michael Myers did it, but he wasn't killing. He
uh.
was just stalking. So for him to like, walk up and be like, bitch, get some," then like that just shows like the level of crazy
Yeah.
slash like fun that the movie was willing to have
And
basically.
before anybody says like, "Oh, that would never happen," please tell me
It
how many
literally
times.
happens all
Yeah,
the time.
how many times have you seen your neighbors bring in their groceries?
Yeah,
Like, I live in a suburb and I've never seen any of my neighbors bring in groceries.
not once.
Yeah,
Yeah, and same thing. Tightly knit
yeah,
too.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to that. The violence in it. So let's go to the breakers. What? Anything breaking it?
Just Courtney Cox. Just
Courtney Cox's face. No, like I got a couple.
okay. Shoot.
Um, okay. Once again, spoilers. Okay. Dewey shoots the girl. Okay. That's who's in the ghost face because she's the one who killed Dewey. Okay. Right?
Okay.
Okay. She has a bulletproof vest on
Yeah.
and he pumps 5 rounds into her.
Hmm.
Boom, 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 boom. Like, I know it's a scary movie and I can take my disbelief, but there's a little part of me that goes, she would have gotten up, like hunched over, like a question mark,
Yeah.
and been wheezing. Like, because that bulletproof vest doesn't mean like invulnerable to bullets.
Right. You'll still break your ribs or damage a lung or something.
Yeah. And then the next like couple of like scenes we would also see her for like a month and a half. She would just be like still in that hunched over position. I mean, yeah, bulletproof vest does not mean like this like comfortable like ah, ha, 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 I'm impervious to your bullet shots. But I did like that a little bit, I will say, where the he shot him and he's like gotta go shoot her in the fucking head basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, don't get in the elevator. And it's like, yeah, you should get in. And then I'm like, nope, then Ghostface is gonna be there. And
Uh,
damn it if it wasn't.
one other thing that was a showbreaker for me for this. Well, two things. One, just the requel explanation. Like, don't tell me what to call your movie in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, don't give me the term for your movie in the movie. But the explanation was good. It was fun, but just don't do that shit.
Yeah.
And then the fucking opening cabinets sequences. I don't know if you noticed how many times somebody was opening a medicine cabinet, a fridge, like a cupboard, a pantry. All throughout the movie, everybody is opening something to get something. Like, have you never heard of a fucking bookshelf
Yeah.
or a countertop? Like, I know that that's a trope to like a jump scare, and the only thing that saved it was they never did it. He was never there when they closed the cabinet or the door or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was funny. It was like making fun of itself because they did it so much.
Oh well, the West character, the blonde, the I'm sorry, the guy with those really horrible frosted tips,
Yeah, yeah,
and he would do it every minute. He would open the
yeah,
door, and like it
yeah.
would be
In the
slow
house,
close, and
while
then a quick close, and it's like, oh, it's not there. It did it like 12 times, and
yeah,
then
I
finally,
think that
you
it
know,
was a joke. I think it was a
yeah,
joke on like that they wrote in there like, no,
yeah,
no, like, but still, it was fucking annoying.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, God."
Like I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna take another like really big geek out moment of just like boo was they're at the hospital, and an ambulance pulls up to the hospital with a coroner thing. And I was like,
Yeah.
isn't the coroners in the hospital? Don't you take them to the morgue? And that's
Yeah,
like
I noticed that
the
too.
coroner, isn't it's just like, oh yeah, because it's visually not appealing to be just wheeling a body bag down the elevator and stuff from a just a pissed off orderly. I gotta clean all that goddamn blood up. God damn it. You know, but
The
would
movie had a lot of flaws, but
it had
they
flaws.
were all very, for me, I'm speaking for myself, not Jerry.
Yes.
For me, they were very easily forgettable or forgiven.
Yeah.
I can see the joke, I can see the fun that they were trying to have in it. So,
Um. Yeah. So, all right. Moving on. What is next? Notable effects. What do you got for the notable effects on this movie?
okay, so the two effects that really caught my eye was when Tara gets stabbed in the hand.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
Yeah.
That looked good. The cut was good. The scene was good. Like the cut, the cut angle was good. And Billy looked pretty damn good to be completely CGI'd.
He had that uncanny value, but yeah, it was decent. It wasn't as bad as like
The only time it looked bad was when he was in the back seat of the car and she was talking to him.
yeah.
Every other time when he was in the mirror or whatever, he would he looked pretty good. I mean, you could tell he was CGI'd, but it looked pretty good.
Well, they got the actor. They got the actor to come and do all the lines,
Right.
and then they
But
just
he does
de-aged.
not. Yeah, I was going to say he does not look young anymore.
No.
He looks quite well. No, he still looks good for his age, but like he's older.
Yeah, but they want him to look like the night he got murdered,
Right,
or the
right.
night he was,
Got murdered.
yeah,
Poor victim.
yeah,
Uh, Billy and Stu victims.
yeah.
That's what I took away from Scream One.
That would have been great if they would have got both of them back, and they would have just been arguing in the car and stuff, and the whole
That
time
would have been
Matthew
cool.
Matthew Lillard just like, I'm feeling a little bit woozy here.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
I think I'm dying, man.
that's why she's crazy, is because it's not just her dad's image, it's both of them. Um,
She describes it to a therapist, and the therapist is like, "Yeah, no, Billy makes sense, but what the fuck is Stu doing
yeah,
there?" Well, they were kind of partners. They were like best friends. So
yeah. I'm gonna go with there's a part at the very end where
uh-huh.
we see the old house.
Yeah,
Now, in the original movie, that house was there. That house was there when they pulled up from the camera. You saw all the police cars from the
uh-huh.
porch. It looked dark and menacing behind them. It looked like a real place. This one looked like they built a set to look like the porch, and then they just built the house together with CGI, and it was very noticeable. You can tell that grain, that film grain. It looks like that Vaseline they rub on the lens to make all the they come in the theater and they put Vaseline on your eyes, and then you go, oh yeah, it doesn't look that bad now after all. That's the only one that I'm going to say on a negative, but you did mention the enhanced gore with um with the visual effects. They stab someone through the mouth or through
Yeah,
the neck. Oop,
yeah,
hit my microphone. Through the neck, and it comes out the other side, and it looks really good. It looked
yeah,
really good, the poke of the neck.
yeah,
And I said it in my show Steelers. I think the graphic violence is really good. It's limited. It's not overdone. But it's just better than off-screen kills or like rubber knife stabs.
yeah, yeah.
So, next one, we got a cinema wow. Anything wowy about the cinemas?
Um, not not overly.
No.
I mean, it was just a fun nostalgia, basically. So, I wasn't looking to be blown away by anything.
Yeah.
I really wasn't.
Yeah, I think it's very not bottom of the barrel, but middle line. It's
Yeah,
like, yep, that could have been anything.
I'll
This movie
take
could have been anything.
I'll take another I'll take another like 4 Scream movies before I take another Texas Chainsaw movie.
I'll give you that. Yeah, I mean it had money backing up on it.
Yeah,
So, compared to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which felt like it was filmed all in the same exact location, just in different angles. So,
yeah.
but yeah, we're in quotable lines time. You got a quotable line?
Well, I think again, I would have to say, I would have to say the whole, like, it's in 2 different scenes, but it plays together, where uh, Tara's sister goes to Dewey and is like, "Help us find the character," and he's like, "What about this guy?
Hmm.
He's probably the killer. How long you known him?" And then later, the boyfriend, once he's revealed as the spoiler killer,
Yeah.
he's like, Dewey figured it out in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Why did it take you so long? Like, you were so easy to like fucking blah blah blah.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it to Nev Campbell when she's on the phone and she's like, "I'm already bored of this shit," and I was like, "I
Yeah.
know, Nev. I know." Like, I will say, like, I'll wait till I break that down at the end. You got a that one moment.
um not not particularly. I think just the use of 2 knives instead of just the one.
Oh
Uh
yeah,
they stepped up the knife game and gave them 2.
yeah,
Uh, I think that was pretty much my one moment. I was like, "Oh shit, he's got 2 knives.
yeah.
Why didn't he think of that before?" But yeah,
Yeah. I'll give you that. That one moment for me, particular, will be, um, yeah. I'll give like. I'll give the chuckles kind of to like the whole end scene being in Billy Loomis's old house or Stu's old house. You know, the original Scream house, basically. Even though it wasn't the original Scream, but you know, I like seeing that place. It's like, oh hey, I know what that is. So yeah, I'll give it that. Score and soundtrack. Anything memorable? Anything noticeable? You know that you can you think of?
no.
No,
The music was not important, and the
no.
score was not important to me. Both of them, I didn't even hear anything.
Like
Um,
that one moment in the parking lot with the greasy guy, where they were playing the Red Right Hand. I don't even remember if they played like the original, like theme. You know, the doorbell ringing and the phone, like you know that shunnan dunnan dunnan. You know,
yeah, I don't know. I don't
even though
even.
I done I just did the Terminator thing.
Yeah.
um, because I had this soundtrack, Scream soundtrack when I was a kid. I really like that. Don't Fear the Reaper. Um,
Yeah.
Slow down. Um, yeah, nothing really. Meat and potato.
It was a good mixture of both.
Yeah.
I think it was probably more meat than potato. They spent outside of that long requel explanation, they spent little to no time with thoughts and theories. There was
Mm-hmm.
like little 1 minute clips here and there where they're like, "Oh, it's probably this," or "We got to find this," and then it was like stab, stab, stab. So
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna go almost. No, I'm gonna go even blend meat and potato. The beginning when we're meeting the sister, because we're having to be introduced to new characters, we have to spend a while till we get to the town to really ramp it up. Like after the Drew Barrymore killings,
mhm.
we're kind of like in this limbo area. And then finally, when we get there and we've met all the people, then it's like, okay, I know what this is. It's a Scream movie.
Right.
Do we do a money's worth? Do we do money's worth anymore?
I
Did you
mean,
get
we
your money's
do.
worth?
Um,
If you went to the theater and saw this, let me do this, because
I tried.
if I know, but if you would have saw this in the theater, would you have gone, damn it, or would you been like, hey, it's a movie, or would you gone, man, I'm glad I saw this.
I think that if I well, so with my kid being in school, I go to matinees,
Yeah,
so it's $10. I'd have paid $10 to see this.
yeah,
I'm okay with that. I mean, technically, I did because I don't fucking watch Paramount, so I keep that. So in theory, I've paid like $70 to watch this movie because I've kept Paramount for 6 months, and the first thing I've watched on it was Scream 5.
yeah. There you
So yeah, I guess I did get my
go.
fucking money's worth.
Paramount has a really, really good horror section. It's mixed with that crap that I enjoy, that really bad, along with, some decent, like they picked up the Paramount, like they took Paramount's selection, kind of brought it over there. They got the Jasons right now. They got a couple of Fridays. But they also do have like a lot of old black and white horror movies. So yeah, I would definitely. Paramount's a pretty good service. I would say with the television shows and the movie selection, and if you like Star Trek, hell,
Oh, sure don't.
uh, would have I got my money's worth? I think so. Uh, as much as I didn't enjoy this 100%, it wasn't like, oh my god, this movie is such like a grind. I wouldn't have been like, oh man, fuck this. I wish I would have went and saw the Batman. I don't.
Right.
Yeah, I think it would have been fine. So. All right, let's wrap up. All right, wrap up time. Anything else that you want to talk about real quick about the movie that we may have not mentioned?
No, I think
No.
that I think we covered all the good stuff,
Cool.
and yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
fuck it.
One thing we did miss, especially in quotable, I mean, in notable effects. At the end, they just shoot this little girl and she burst into flames. I missed
That's
why
true.
why she burst into flames. Can you reiterate? Do you remember? Was she holding like a Molotov cocktail in her hand, or
I think it. I don't even think that she got near accelerant or anything, but I'm not sure. I don't
yeah?
remember. Um, but I know that she burst into flames and it looked really
Yeah,
dumb.
yeah. I was sitting there and like I was answering a text real quick. I was watching and she's like sitting there like, and this is why we did this because we're crazy. And I did like Nev Campbell kind of just like, we don't care. We
Yeah.
really don't fucking care. But it's like exposition, 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 and all of a sudden, like my phone, I got a text. I'm sitting there texting. I hear exposition, a gunshot, and I look up, and she's fucking on fire. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! What did I miss? I could rewind it, but that would defeat the purpose. Another thing is, yeah, Courtney Cox's face looks very. She's tired, lady. She's just very
Yeah, she's tired.
very tired. Even the plastic is starting to feel a little sleepy. Just a little sleepy.
Yeah.
Which is funny because David Arquette still looks like fucking David Arquette.
Yeah, so what in our next part of this we'll be listing off our favorite 1 through 5, and why I will say, going back and watching the old ones for this, they were a lot younger, man. A lot younger. Like, wow, younger.
Yeah.
Time has not
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, I would definitely,
I mean,
but
David Arquette looks good. He's aging well.
yeah.
I like David Arquette's looks now more than I did when he was Officer Doofy.
Yeah.
So,
It was just, um, so we have like 1,000,001 Scream 1 references.
mhm.
Beer down in the you know, there's beer down in the basement. Let me go get it. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, that's the Rose McGowan part.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but there are a lot of references in here. Do you think that like they just did that for nostalgia? Like, so people in the audience would go,
Well,
I
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, I completely think so.
Okay.
I think that there was a lot of homage paid to its predecessor,
Yeah.
and I think that I mentioned that Halloween 2 scene where she comes rolling out of the hospital room and
Mm-hmm.
Ghostface, he even does the head turn just like Michael did.
Yeah.
Like he steps out and like slowly turns his head towards her. Like that was nice of them to do that. I think that was like a callback to like here's one we respect
Yeah.
because they shit on a lot of other ones in the movie, so
Mm-hmm.
including themselves.
Can I also say that it's like, congratulations, Scream universe. In our universe, they took the AC/DC Night Stalker hat off of the market when the Night Stalker started doing all his killings. But yeah,
Mm.
you can buy those Ghostface fucking killer costumes as
Oh yeah, of
easily
course.
as we can. Like, they're like, yeah, we just sell them, you know.
Yeah, we don't give a shit.
Yeah. Like, I like that should be a thing. Like, there's all like, I think in all of these movies, there's always been like one or two killers. You know, I think there's always been
Yeah,
two. But
yeah,
like, I would like if I'm going to a murder party, like there usually is, or like if there's like a bunch of people, I would just wear that costume.
yeah,
You know, you're the
yeah.
murderer. No, I have alibis for all that shit, but I will be happy to sue you for wrongful prosecution and your racist attitudes towards me just wanting to wear this Halloween costume. Like at that party, I would have just wore the costume. Like, dude,
Yeah,
you think that's
absolutely.
cool? You know?
It's like in the second one when they're going to the movies and
Yeah,
they're handing out the Scream fucking costumes.
yeah. If we're all Scream, then there's nobody who Scream. You know. um, Nev Campbell, I think she's done with this. I don't. I really think that was like this movie was sitting here being like, you have to be in this. And she was like, I don't want to be in this. And then finally they were like, okay, $35 million to be in this. And she's like, okay, with the second that my check clears, I'll do like 4 days of shooting. Because she's in it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
And it's kind of like, I really think she was the one who was like, you shouldn't do this. There is there any more story that we need to tell? Yeah. But I just, because of, I mean, Courtney Cox was in it more than Nev Campbell. David Arquette was in it
yeah,
way more because of, he's like, shit, yeah, I'll do it for $25. I get to be in a movie. Yeah,
yeah,
David. So,
yeah.
but
We're still working on Ready to Rumble 2. So
yeah, David Arquette is actually going to start like getting into that like Pauly Shore land almost.
I don't know, man. I think that he kind of nailed his role in this one, and I liked him a lot more than I liked most of the people in this one.
I will
So,
give you that. Yeah, he was probably like, if we had a category for just acting, like just an
yeah,
actor, I would probably put him, maybe a little bit of Nev Campbell. It's nice to see Nev Campbell now and again. Uh, the Tara girl, definitely. That's another problem with this movie is that we're introduced to a lot of characters that are
yeah,
just like, I yeah, they're just sheep. They're there for the slaughter, you know.
yeah. The I think that they did a good job of kind of like the twins. I liked, but the rest of them. You're right. They were just slaughter, and we know that that is the horror movie formula.
No.
You introduced 5 or 6 characters, and they all get killed off.
Yeah.
But there were characters that you actually had to pay attention to, being the sisters, um, and or half sisters technically,
Yeah.
because mommy was a hoe bag. But it's just you know, it's just how horror movies are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But they did a good job getting you to care about these characters, even though they were just lambs to the slaughter. Because when the curly haired girl got it, I was like, oh, bummer, dude. Like, she was fun because she just didn't react. She was like,
We don't see her die.
that's true. And she might come back as the killer in 6
Or
or
the
something.
tall,
But
like slutty girl who's like, ooh boy, the football player, like
yeah.
she's just in the scene and then she's yelling and then she disappears.
Yeah, she's very in and out and throughout the whole movie. But I think they did that intentionally because they wanted to make her seem like the killer.
Yeah.
Because she walks back in, she's got the blood on her. She's like, "No, I just found the football guy outside." Like,
Yeah.
that's how I'm referring
Yeah,
to.
the football guy. Yeah,
I
exactly.
just found the football guy outside, and he's dead. Come with me. So they kind of did that because That's what they did in the other ones.
Yeah.
They had Cotton Leary show up with blood on his hands and go, "Look, I didn't do anything. I found him and I checked on him and
Hmm.
blah blah blah." So
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it has that introduction to uh like, is he truth, is he, but and the fifth movie, if we're still doing that, is it still as exciting? Like, ooh, he could, that could be the, even though I felt, yeah, these, it was very easy to go, no, that he's the killer. The one dark haired girl who also was the killer, she was the only one like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that, you know.
yeah, no, I mean, I didn't see that coming, but they definitely in that basement scene where they were about to get gay.
Yeah.
Uh, I thought that at that point I was like, oh, they're both the killers, and it's an inside joke
Mm-hmm.
because they both played it like, you might be the killer, you might be the killer, and then I was like, oh shit, But yeah, I had weird feelings about her throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
She was very protective of Tara,
Yeah.
which doesn't make sense if you're going to just kill the girl. So that part was a little strange to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they had a plan. So, all right, let's start. You want to start?
Let's start. What's starring?
Star or star?
No, what's your star? Sorry.
Oh, you're asking me what my star. I'm gonna go 3, down the middle. You know, the more I talk about it, the more I'm acceptable of it. Is it the worst Scream? No.
No, no. We all know what the worst Scream is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the worst one, but it has, every horror movie, and especially I think this is like the third time we're gonna say this, is when you have such an iconic first movie, it's really, you really 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 have to do like hard fucking work to make something feel new and fresh,
Yeah.
or if you're gonna go for nostalgia, okay, give me the nostalgia, but make it something that I want to watch. Will I watch it again? Maybe not. Maybe around Halloween time, or you get those box sets at Walmart. All the Scream movies. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're gonna watch all the Screams.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would give it 3 in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. I think that I would have to go. I think. See, the problem with the star rating is because I've given other movies a certain amount of stars, and this one doesn't compare to them. So, like, instinctively, I'm going to go, all right, it's probably 4. but I also,
Yeah, I guess it's that thing between okay, like okay, would you give this a thumbs up or a thumbs down? I don't know. What I don't know. Like I'll give it
I'll
a
give it the Zangief thing
yeah, I'll give it a
where
shrug
Jean
of my
Claude's like,
shoulder.
Jean Claude Van Damme's like,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, uh, but
Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know. I think I'll just safely give it 3.5 stars.
3.5. All right. So
That's fair. That's
yeah,
fair.
that's fair. That's fair. So all right,
All right.
cut.
Well, that will wrap us up on
Oh,
this episode. Check out the next video because we'll be going through the Scream franchise and telling you our 1 through 5s. So have a good night or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.